a collaboration, right? There's some interesting, I think there's certain brands that are more set up to do it than others. And I think one of the best ones is set up to do it is the Sluggers brand, right? Sluggers, they've done it really well. Right, there's so many collabs. So this is a Fidel's X Sluggers collab. This is a Birkin's X Sluggers collab. This is a Gas House Pluto Sluggers collab. This is a D-Tie Doja Pack collab. These are some mushroom gummies that are not part of this. See, this shit's so hard, bro. This is a Champelli. And it's smart, right? He built brand equity. I mean, they're building brand equity through collaboration. And I think, like I said, I think there's certain brands that do better than others in this kind of style. There's a Viola, right? Anyway, Jesus Christ, shit. Anyway, for example, the company that I'm, part of, right, Space Weed. Space Weed's a perfect brand for collaborations, right? Because it's drying technology, and we're a platform to showcase, the benefits of this new technology, right? And so, we collab with growers, and it's a situation that's perfect for collaborations. Now, I think like I said, this has been done masterfully well. I gotta clap it up for Josh and Natura Life Sciences. They've been crushing it, right? Now, you gotta have those relationships to make some of those collaborations happen, and you gotta make sure that to get a collaboration, right, that the other brand obviously has to see a benefit in it. They have to see kind of like you're on the same level, if not higher than that brand, because at the end of the day, collaborations is pretty much this. It's both parties need to feel that they are getting the better deal, right? And yeah, but collaborations can be really, really, potent and effective. It's pretty much just like when you're collaborating on an Instagram post, right? You're tapping into two different audiences and you're bringing them together. So you're cross collaborating. It also, cross collaboration too. Typically, typically they're limited edition runs. Like they're usually limited. Sometimes they're like, I don't see that many like 10-year long collaborations, right? Maybe there's like, maybe there's like Yeezy with Adidas, but that's kind of different. Like you don't really see, like, I don't know how long we're going to see the Champelli Sluggers. Like this is like limited edition. That's what they're trying to do, right? So, I think that's interesting. Anyway. So yeah, so the benefits, right? Benefits are going to cross collaborate audiences. They're going to be able to, create a exclusive air, an air of exclusivity. Downfalls, right? If let's say one brand makes the other brand look bad for some reason, that's one of the downfalls, right? Once like fucks up, falls off, but feels like a pesticide test, whatever it may be, PR stuff. Yeah. But yeah, most part though, I think collaborations can be really, really dope. Just look at what Supreme did, right? Supreme's whole business model is based off every like fashion brand now is based off collaborations now. It's smart. It's a way to keep funneling in new people into your ecosystem, right? Into your tribe, and then other people go into other tribes, right? So it keeps stuff fresh, right? You don't want things to go stale. Okay, so we're almost done here, folks. We are almost done here. How are we doing right now? What's everyone in the chat? Are we enjoying this? Is this useful at all? I'm just curious. Okay, looks like we covered. We got one last thing to go. Let me know in the chat. Is this been useful? Okay. There's two more parts that we have right here. So how to influence the epicenter of the industry / culture, which is kind of ambiguous, right? It's kind of broader, but what happens typically is that there is, so out of 100%, so let's say the entire consumer base is 100%, right? let's say about 15% of that consumer base is like the inner culture, right? The people that just are the ones that are the inner industry, the people that usually typically work in the industry, that are highly, highly engaged in the industry, and that are, you know, the ones, like I said, their own companies. They're the ones that buy the most typically. They're the ones that help set trends, right? So think about it like this, guy, right? We have very basic, right? So right here, I don't know if folks can see it, right? We have the X right here, right? That's the inner culture, the inner influence, right? And typically what happens is what happens in the middle, you know, let's say that's the inner culture. Let's say that the second ring is like the enthusiasts that are, you know, that are pretty into it, but they're not maybe working in the industry or whatever. And then let's say the outer ring is just general public, right? So to create a trend, right, typically you got to win over that epicenter, right? You have to win over enough of that epicenter to make it a shockwave to send it to the next level, right? So typically, what the trends that happen in the inner circle will then eventually travel, you know, after a year, you know, maybe it just the time can vary, right? But by the time it hits the general public, that trend was decided almost a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, right? It takes 2 years potentially for a trend to bubble out, right? Just something to think about. Now, how do we potentially win over that inner circle, right? There's a lot of different tactics, right? I mean, it's you have to, you know, create alliances. You have to, you know, help people out. You have to, you know, have people like you. You have to pinpoint certain influential folks that you know can sway this inner circle, right? Let's say this grouping of like 5,000 people, let's say, right? Pick key potential, you know, influencers that are going to help you be able to, you know, think about it as an election, right? You need to win at least a plurality, right? A plurality being like, you know, 35% or something, or 40% for it to go on and become a trend, right? To have it be adopted by the inner industry, right? Because like I said, once you can win over that inner group, typically what will happen is, you know, that trend will start to then, you know, over the course of a year, maybe 2 years after, will then hit the mainstream. And if you are the one that starts it, or if you're one of the original kind of people that are initially involved with it, it's going to pay dividends, right? At least, you know, it should potentially. There's obviously a lot more to that, but like I said, network, learn the trends too. By the way, learn, like, study. You have to study the history of trends. Study why did this become popular? Why did this become, you know? It's observe.